The Yusupovs, Russian, Yusupovi, were a Russian imperial noble family descended from the monarchs of the Nogai horde. Renowned for their immense wealth, philanthropy and art collections in the 18th and 19th centuries. Most notably, Prince Felix Yusupov was famous for his involvement in the murder of Grigory Rasputin. Early history. In the 14th century, Edigu, a Mongol from the Manghud tribe and one of Tamerlane's greatest strategists, settled on the north shores of the Black Sea, establishing the Nogai horde and laying the foundations for the Crimean Khanate. Edigu's death was followed by infighting between his descendants. Until, in the 15th century, Yusuf became the Khan of the Nogai horde. Yusuf allied himself with Tsar Ivan the Terrible. But the allies eventually became enemies. Yusuf's daughter Soyambika was queen of Kazan. And when Kazan was razed by Ivan, she was taken as prisoner to Moscow. After Yusuf died, another period of fighting between his descendants followed until the 17th century. When Abdul Mirza, another descendant, converted from Islam to Eastern Orthodox Christianity under the name of Dmitry. After the conversion, Tsar Fyodor I bestowed upon him the title of Prince Yusupov. His descendant Prince Grigory Dmitrievich Yusupov, the 17th of November 1676, Moscow, the 2nd of September 1730, Moscow, General-in-Chief and Minister of Defense, was a friend of Peter the Great and helped him with the construction of the Russian Navy. In 1720 he was given a fief, the country estate and manor house in Rakitiansky district, formerly owned by Ivan Mazepa. He married Anna Nikitichna Akanfova, died 1735, daughter of Okolnichi Nikita Ivanovich Akanfov. The couple had, besides Boris, 3 more children. Grigory Grigorievich Yusupov, died 1737, colonel, married firstly to Princess Maria Petrovna Korkodinova, and married secondly to Princess Yevdokia Nikolaevna Shahovskaya, without any issue from both marriages. Sergei Grigorievich Yusupov, died 1734, sub-colonel, unmarried and without any issue. Maria Grigorievna Yusupova, died 1738, lady-in-waiting at the court of Empress Catherine I, forced to take monastic vows by her elder brothers in order to inherit her part of family estates. Unmarried and without any issue. 18th and 19th centuries. Prince Boris Grigorievich Yusupov, Chamberlain in 1730. General Governor of Moscow in 1738. Senator. The 18th of June 1695. Moscow, the 3rd of March 1759. Moscow. Son of Prince Grigory, was sent to study with the French Navy at the age of 20 and soon became the Tsar's advisor, and eventually served 3 sovereigns. During the reign of Empress Elizabeth he was appointed head of the imperial schools. In 1756, he encouraged the empress to form the first public theatre in St. Petersburg. He married Irina Mikhailovna Zinovieva, 1718–25 March 1788, daughter of steward Mikhail Petrovich Zinoviev, in 1734. Besides their only male child, the youngest, she also gave birth to 4 daughters. Yevdokia Borisovna Yusupova, the 5th of May, N.S. the 16th of May, 1743, Moscow, the 19th of July, N.S. the 8th of July, 1780, St. Petersburg, married on the 6th of March 1774. Matava, Mitau, divorced in 1777 or 1778. As his second wife, to Peter von Biron, the last Duke of Kurland, 1769 to 1795, and the first Duke of Sagan, 1786 to 1795, the 15th of February 1724, Matava, Mittau, the 13th of January 1800, Schloss Gethlenai, without offspring, Alexandra Borisovna Yusupova, 1744 to 1791, married to Senator Ivan Mikhailovich Ismailov, the 30th of January 1724 to the 10th of November 1787. Elizaveta Borisovna Yusupova, the 27th of April 1745 to the 29th of August 1770. Married on the 13th of February 1764 to General Major Prince Andrei Mikhailovich Golitsyn. The 15th of August 1729 to the 23rd of February 1770. With large offspring, Anna Borisovna Yusupova, 1749 to 1772, married in 1771 to Alexander Yakovlevich Protasov, 1742 to 27 April 1799, Chamberlain, Senator, tutor of Alexander I, Boris's eldest son, Prince Nikolai Borisovich Yusupov, 1751 to 1831, Senator, Minister of State Properties and Director of the Imperial Theatres. Was a keen traveller who spoke 5 languages and was also a patron of the arts. Nicholas served under a series of sovereigns, including Catherine the Great, Paul I and Alexander I as a private counsellor and diplomat. As a diplomat, Nikolai travelled throughout Europe, to France and Versailles, where he met Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette, to Germany and Prussia, where he met Frederick the Great, to Austria, where he met Emperor Joseph II, and to Italy. During his journey he purchased a large collection of art for the Tsar and was later appointed director of the Hermitage and the Kremlin Armory. In 1804, Nicholas went to Paris and frequently met Napoleon I, who presented him with a gift of 3 large tapestries. In 1793 Nikolai married Tatiana Vasilievna von Engelhardt. The 1st of January 1769 to the 23rd of May 1841. One of Prince Potemkin's nieces. The couple lived together in Arkhangelskoye estate, their luxurious summer residence in Moscow. Nicholas built his own porcelain factory there, with much of the workers coming from France. In 1831 Nicholas died at the age of 80 and was succeeded by his second and only living son, Boris. Since their elder son, Nikolai, died in infancy, at the age of 42, Prince Boris Nikolaevich Yusupov, the 9th of June 1794, Moscow, the 25th of October 1849, Arkhangelskoye estate, Marshal of the Imperial Court, inherited his immense family wealth, including more than 675,000 acres, 2,730 square kilometers, of land and more than 40,000 serfs living on it. But unlike his father, Boris was not a patron of the arts. Instead, he was primarily occupied with business concerns. Boris moved to the Moika Palace in St. Petersburg, also known as Yusupov Palace, with his second wife, Zenaida Ivanovna Narishkina, the 18th of May 1810 to the 26th of February 1893. A descendant of the same house is Peter the Great's mother, and their only son Nikolai. The Arkhangelskoye Palace was soon derelict. The animals in the palace zoo were sold and much of the collection moved. Boris focused on the family granaries and developed good relationships with the peasants who worked in them. He died in 1849. Boris's only son, Prince Nikolai Borisovich Yusupov, the 12th of October 1827, Moscow, the 31st of July 1891, Baden-Baden, Marshal of the Imperial Court, was much like his uncle Nicholas I, a patron of the arts. He first served in Nicholas's chancery. Nikolai bought a large collection of jewelry, including a 36-carat (7.2 grams) diamond known as the Morocco Sultan. The prince later spent much of his time in southern Europe due to poor health, while also serving the Tsar as a diplomat. While in Europe, he bought much to adorn his palace on the Moika, including collections of violins and paintings. He married Countess Tatiana Alexandrovna de Ribopierre, the 29th of June 1828 to the 14th of January 1879. A lady-in-waiting to the Empress, daughter of Comte Alexandre de Ribopierre and his wife Ekaterina Mikhailovna Potemkina, another niece of Prince Potemkin. The prince was also a talented musician and composer and was a member of several musical societies. In 1866, he published a book about the Yusupov history, on the family of the Yusupov princes, a collection of their life stories, charters and letters of the Russian sovereigns to them. 20th century. When Nicholas Yusupov died in 1891, he was succeeded by his daughter, Zinaida, who was considered a legendary beauty at the time, as well as one of the richest women in the country. Her suitors included the Crown Prince of Bulgaria, Princess Zinaida Nikolaevna Yusupova, the 2nd of September 1861, St. Petersburg, Russia, the 24th of November 1939, Paris, France. Married Count Felix Felixovich Sumarokov-Elston, the 5th of October 1856, St. Petersburg, Russia, the 10th of June 1928, Rome, Italy. General Governor of Moscow Military District, 1915, son of Count Felix Nikolaevich Sumarokov-Elston. They married on 4 April 1882 in St. Petersburg. After his father-in-law died, Felix was granted special permission from Tsar Alexander III to carry the title Prince Yusupov and Count Sumarokov-Elston and to pass it to his and Zinaida's heir. Felix was appointed adjutant to the Grand Duke Sergei Alexandrovich in 1904 and commanded the cavalry of the Imperial Guards. At the beginning of World War I, the Yusupovs owned more than 100,000 acres, 400 square kilometers, of land, and their industries included sugar beet factories, brick plants, saw mills, textile and cardboard factories, mines and distilleries, in addition to more than 16 palaces and estates. The Yusupovs left an imprint on the economic and social development of Rokitno. They owned mechanical and agricultural shops, enterprises for tanning sheepskin, cloth, lace and 2 carpet factories, wind and mechanical mills, forges, parochial schools and railway, a district hospital, houses in the village and Rokitno Jest at the railway junction, the palace complex with a magnificent park and 3 cascading ponds, the Church of the Assumption and St. Nicholas Church in the village Rokitno. Paved roads and a railway station was built. The older son of Zinaida and Felix Sumarokov-Elston, Nikolai Felixovich Yusupov, 1883–1908, was killed in a duel at the age of 26. The last Yusupov prince was Prince Felix Yusupov, Count Sumarokov-Elston, the younger son of Zinaida and Felix Sumarokov-Elston. He is famous for his involvement in the murder of Grigory Rasputin. Felix Yusupov married Princess Irina, niece of the last Russian Tsar, Nicholas II, and a great-granddaughter of King Christian IX. After the murder of Rasputin, he was exiled to the Crimea, but returned to St. Petersburg in 1917 to find the city in massive disorder after the February Revolution. He took with him some of his most precious paintings by Rembrandt and jewelry. In April 1919, he left Russia for Paris, never to return. He was the last Yusupov prince. His daughter, Irina, married Count Sheremetev's descendant. They moved to Greece with their children. Although recently they were granted Russian citizenship by the Russian president. Princess Irina Felixovna Yusupova died on 30 August 1983 at Cormeilles in France. She was buried alongside her paternal grandparents and her parents at the cemetery Sainte Geneviève des Bois Russian Cemetery in Essonne, France. The last remnants of the family live throughout Russia, Greece, France and Australia. See also Arkhangelskoye Palace, near Moscow, Moika Palace, in St. Petersburg, Yusupov Palace, Crimea. References. Sources. Lost Splendor. Yusupov's self-biography until 1919. Online. Printed in 1952. ISBN 1-885586-58-2.